Wow.
Was that the Joker?
The
That was
Joker.
the Joker. I'm almost afraid to thank him for that one. I don't want to receive any retribution.
Scared.
You know.
You don't want any vengeance coming in your direction?
Has the Joker been canceled yet? He wasn't in the new Batman movie, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe he was. Ed knows something.
I don't know.
I do not, because I had to leave fucking 20 minutes early.
I thought this new Batman was like a Riddler showing.
You guys want me to tell you
Riddler. No,
the pre-credit scene?
I want to see
I
it.
could spoil it.
No,
No.
no, thank you.
You guys, we should hang out more. We should go see the new Batman.
Go see the new
later.
Batman.
I just rewatched The Watchmen over the weekend. That movie is kind of dated, but it's pretty funny.
Is it great?
It's good.
Wait, you said the old Watchmen?
Yeah, like the
HBO one.
not the HBO, not the series. I watched the movie, the Zack Snyder
Yeah.
adaptation of it.
I think HBO made that. Well, it's on HBO. I think
It's on-
HBO
It's on
owns
Netflix,
DC.
I think I watched it on Netflix because
Really?
I tried to watch the HBO series after, and I don't have HBO Max. But yeah, I rewatched it. It's kind of ridiculous to like. There are so few roles that I can take Patrick Wilson seriously in. That like when he is a superhero or any superhero movie I've seen with Patrick Wilson, one where he's the Night Owl, and then the Aquaman movie where he's the villain, cannot take that guy seriously.
Just keep picturing him as a priest.
Also, and when he's like kicking the shit out of people, you're like, it's just Patrick Wilson. He's just like a dude with a dad bod. Like,
Yeah.
he's not a superhero. He doesn't look like one.
Hey, superheroes could be having dad bods.
That would be a great superhero, a new one, Dad Bod.
Well,
And he just
Goes and bangs your mom. Like, what would
fucking Terry.
Just some fat, like 30-year-old kid just shows up like, stop. No, I'm sorry, I didn't.
That's okay. Welcome to the Bust Up Podcast, everybody. You're home for Dad Bods. This is your premier Sunday morning podcast happening on a Sunday morning. How are we doing, everybody?
Fan-fucking-tastic. What about you?
I'm doing excellent. I like the lead in with superhero lead in. You know, what do you guys? So you watched the Watchmen recently?
Yeah. Not the. There's a lot of really corny lines in that movie, especially like regarding the comedian, where they're like, "Yes, it is just a joke," or like I don't know, there's all these fucking dumb things.
He's like Arnold in Batman Forever or Batman Robin, whichever one is. Chill.
Yeah. Yes.
Chill out.
It's about to get cold in here.
Freeze.
Dude, okay, so,
Somebody turn up the thermostat.
who left the fridge open? No,
Our electric bill is going to be through the roof this month.
I was watching this thing. It was like Will Smith explaining like some of the best advice he ever got was from Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was like talking about how he wanted to be the best or like the biggest movie star in the world. And Arnold was like, "You got to run like a politician for it. You have to be in every country." Just like,
Wow.
yeah,
What advice?
he did it.
Arnold's a legend.
Yeah, he is.
The
They're gonna make a great documentary. I'm sure there is a good documentary about him, but they're gonna make a great one.
There is one where it's just like him, like coming up in like the Hollywood like body lifting scene, and then
Pumping
break-
iron?
Yeah, is that what it is?
you know, he's talking about his regimen. To get your abs, you need to do your sit-ups. Yeah, I heard
It's
the
like
other
I'm
day.
coming and everybody's there and watching me, and I'm coming that they're coming that I'm coming.
I heard the other day an interview with Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he was talking about someone asked him about his best Danny DeVito story, and he was like, so he went to this party in the 80s with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and everyone's name was spelled out in cocaine on the table. So he walks in and he sees Arnold and he's like, "Danny, look at my name, it's so big." And he's just so happy to see that, you know.
when if I ever make it, dude, we're all doing our names in cocaine. No.
Live on the podcast, on the air.
Yeah, pistachio, scotch, the whole nut. No, I'm just
Oh, very nice.
I was watching. That was the Always Sunny pod, right? They were talking about that.
I don't think that was on the Always Sunny pod. That was on something else where he was being interviewed. I think it was on like a sports show or something like that. But the Always Sunny pod is a banger. I recommend it.
So there was I watched this clip where they were talking about like mushrooms and
Yeah, I
stuff like
watched
that.
that. I was just about
It's
to
so good. And it's like, Charlie, you did mushrooms, right? He's just like, oh yeah, I was big into fish.
Yeah,
He
big
just
fish fan.
He's just like, went to Clifford Ball.
Mhm.
We ate entirely too much mushrooms.
Yeah, what does he say when some girl comes up and asks him for a cigarette and he just kept saying, oh yeah, I'm all about it.
There we
It
go.
just
I was
doesn't
trying
have
to think of
banger
that.
cigarette. Oh yeah, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. That's a great line. So you guys weekends, you know, you guys get
Man, I'm 60 hours in the Elden Ring. That's where
Did you
we're
see
at.
the guy who beat it in an hour?
I'm not surprised. That game is full of like,
Loopholes?
well, no, the whole like community. It's been like from always people that like, will do speed runs of the game that will like never level up and they'll just
Mhm.
use starting equipment, and then those people will go on Reddit and just flame people for doing anything that like, you know, be like, oh, like I'm level 50 and I fought this person. It's like, oh, you fucking pussy, you should try a fucking fast rolling no armor with just a katana.
The scene's toxic.
Yeah. Well, it can be. It's like any good game. Sometimes, you know, they all have toxic players.
I think
that's the internet in general.
I think I
Yeah.
might be a toxic player on Instagram. Because like I saw this thing and like, all right, obviously, you know, the war, terrible, sad, right? But there's this rich lady who's coming back like after her building, like she has like a high rise in Ukraine. She comes back to the building and just has this like $50,000 piano that she just dusts off and then fucking flexes on. And everybody's like the caption's like, look at this gut wrenching video of this rich lady playing her piano, so sad. And I commented like, yeah, there's like kids in bunkers and like, you know, people dying and shit. I don't know that this rich lady having dust on her piano is incredibly sad.
Yeah, I don't know what the context was, but there was like something that I saw where it was like something about like some covert mission to like save some like American family in Ukraine. I was like, what about the other people?
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad you guys snuck into Kiev and got this family up, but
Everybody else is just like, you're just gonna leave us? It's so fucked up, kind of. I don't know. But like that, so I said that, and then everybody, you know, I get a bunch of comments replying in foreign languages. Like I'm sitting there translating word by word what these people are calling.
Yeah, you have to angrily get on the translator.
No, I
You
didn't.
don't get this guy.
I was nothing, you know. There's one thing where like I translated it, and it was just like, "Aren't you just a badger?" And I was like, "That's the sweetest like one of them all," you know.
That's is that? I'm assuming that's meant to be an insult.
Yeah. And then
That's
another
a great insult. Aren't
another
you just a badger?
another one. This lady was like, she was just like, "Hey, her house got bombed. Like, what the fuck? Just let her have this." And I said, like, yeah, but like, imagine if your house got bombed, and then like you're like, you know, obviously you got to get your shit and get out. You got to evacuate. But like, you sat down and were like, "Hey, get your phone out. We're gonna go viral." And then just sat down at the piano, flexed some chops. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel bad, but not so much for like the elite that are like, oh yeah, I gotta dust off this piano and put up some more drywall and shit. You know, I feel worse for the people in the bunkers and shit. I don't know. Sorry, hot takes.
Heart goes out to Ukraine.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
It was, no. It was like 19 people like the person who was just like, not the orange, you just a badger, but the other lady who was like, come on, dude, her house got fucked up. I don't know. I'd probably.
A wild place. You know?
I'd like to think that like you know, we would do the same thing. Like if this some drywall got knocked down, there was dust all over the pod room, we'd come in and we'd still put up a fucking show for y'all when it's safe, you know.
No, that's the thing is you wouldn't post a video of you playing piano because you'd be too busy commenting on other people's videos and how legitimate they are.
Well, okay, listen, I was a breath of fresh air because I was just saying that this is not like come on, this is not the story, you know. And other people were like, this is a crisis actor. They wheeled in the piano and like just dropped some crumbs and drywall on it and like all that shit. And they were like, this is propaganda from Ukraine. It's just like, dude, no, it's not propaganda. It is just a lady just coming back to the piano, but it's like fucking A. I don't know. What do you do? Do you think like what percentage? All right, so let's set this a little bit. I was in this cigar club, I guess. That's what you would call it. It was a cigar shop or lounge. It was a cigar lounge.
A
Okay?
humidor?
No, we were outside the humidor.
I
smoking
don't know what
cigars.
the humidor is. No, just kidding.
I think the
Go on,
humidor is
yeah.
the door you open to get to all the cigars.
It's the thing that keeps
No.
the cigars moist.
But
I'd just like to think that you guys were in there sweating, smoking cigars.
this guy, as I'm smoking a cigar, he's just like, "Hey, bud, what's up?" And I'm just like, "Not much, man." He's just like the chattiest guy ever, and he's just telling me, he's just like, like my dad is General George Petraeus or something like that. I'm like, "Oh, where?" And he's just like, "Yeah." He's just like, the U.S. has like meme farms where we just create memes and like propaganda, but like for Instagram and shit. And I was just like, really? He's just like, yep. All the world's choices are the people are swayed by memes now, so that's just what they're focusing on. And I was just like, so you're George Petraeus' illegitimate son? He's just like, yeah. He's just like, look at this. And he pulls up this random text thread. He's just like, oh, this was pre-COVID.
Does he have it in his phone as General?
I think he's got a video, not a video, a photo.
I think
a picture of him at like a fucking podium or something.
Oh, really?
No, he's
I
just
think
a crazy person.
the biggest red flag would have been that his name is actually David Petraeus, not George.
Whatever. I don't know.
I think
Oh, did he not
that-
actually? You were just throwing out the.
I know that it was Petraeus.
I thought he told you he was like, yeah, my dad's George Petraeus. Like,
I don't know. This is just
played right field for the.
I already was only half listening to
Pelicans.
this guy because I was like, oh, it's a crazy person, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he went on and on about how like we have like meme farms and people are like just sitting around trying to come up with like inflammatory like political statements and then see how many likes it's gonna get and they'll decide like policy based on that shit, like just how much they can get away with basically. I don't know. Regardless. Like there's definitely like that's like Russia's big push, right? So like they're trying to frame things that basically they're defending, supposedly anyway, they're trying to frame everything like Nazism is like flourishing in Ukraine and they're like liberating Ukraine or something like that.
Mhm.
When in reality, at least according to our propaganda, it's the Nazi like folk.
Yeah.
But like that, supposedly like I don't know, they have like Russians that are talking to them like, yeah, we thought it was like we were going in and gonna be heroes and all this shit. So they got their campaign strong over there.
I've heard a lot of different things about like the yeah, like them having like the Russian government having like a very difficult time like keeping the internet like locked down because like yeah, people in Russia keep finding out like things like the hospital that was like bombed or like they keep finding like and like generals or like people in Russia that are like coming out and saying like, oh, we didn't even know that we were like going like that this was going to happen like this or so quickly. Which I don't know how true any of this is, but like I've heard that there's been a number of like miscommunications or mishaps with the whole thing.
Yeah, supposedly too, like if basically you're caught not like going through with the mission or the orders that they like kill you or something in Russia. So like it's like all these like 20-year-old kids that are like now prisoners of war, just like calling, like all that shit because like even their parents could get punished for it. Yeah. Sucks.
No good.
I thought it was funny. It was like sometime last week, and I was like, you know what, like I just gotta Google Trump. I was like, what's his 2 cents on this whole thing? And then it was just like first article was like, Trump makes inflammatory statements praising Putin, saying he's a genius. Right on brand. Right on brand.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's mad funny because like I love like just like it'll be like a 20-second clip of like okay, obviously, you know, it's Fox News, so Trump's on Hannity. They called up Trump. They're like, so Trump, like you were saying that these people were like you were close with them and you had like good working relationship. He's like, I did. They were great people to work with. We had no differences. And then like he's just like, so you're not gonna denounce Putin? He's just like, I got nothing bad to say about it. It's just like going on, and it's just like, oh my god! Like he tried to throw him a life jacket like 3 times, and he's
Yeah.
still fucking like, and that's his home court, his people being like, hey, we're trying to save you here,
Yeah.
and he's just like, yeah, no,
This is a softball. We're gonna all right.
What a world.
We'll play T-ball here, man. We're really trying to set.
Yeah.
dude. So okay, I'm not gonna lie too. I got super pissed off because like a while back I was trying to help my sister buy. She was looking for a new car, so like we went to a couple different Honda dealerships. So I get an email. It's like, hey, Terrytown Honda stands with Ukraine. Word? Like, you're just gonna email me that? That was the entire thing?
That was
I'm
it.
sorry I didn't buy the fucking Honda Fit, dude. Like, how many fits? How many fits are you gonna send to Ukraine? You gonna send them a Ridgeline? Like, what are you? How are you standing with them? You just sending emails out?
It's a good question.
I don't know. I got pissed.
Did you
Stop,
reply?
stop using. Well, yeah, I said, hey, Leonard, stop using war to sell Hondas, please.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna like screenshot it and tag them on something. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna stir the pot like that. But
Latest in the new saga of Ed versus Terrytown Honda.
dude, I
That
don't
is
know.
pretty funny though.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of this email?
Yeah.
Hey, did you want to look at some more Honda Fits maybe?
Yeah.
When we talk about how we stand with Ukraine. Like, dude, it's the same thing with any time, like around September, you know, you'll see billboards where it's just like, hey, Pioneer Bank remembers 9/11.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah. Are you sure you're just not trying to look for a way to?
I'm glad Pioneer Bank remembers where it was when 9/11 happened.
You know who really remembers? J.P. Morgan Chase.
Very true.
No, I don't know. It's just like I hate that shit. And then it'll be like there'll be like billboards like on the anniversary of any other tragedy, like Hurricane Katrina. It'll be like 15 years later, we stand with Katrina. It's just like, dude, stop buying billboard space and help those people out. They're still fucking living
Yeah,
in the FEMA
give
trailers.
the people the money.
Like, why are we telling people in Albany, New York about how like you stand with Katrina?
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
I don't know. Fucking stop using tragedies to advertise.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing sacred.
Unless you're actually doing something, like if you're advertising and then like donating money that you're advertising for.
To Bill Burr has this bit about billboards where it's just like he's just like you ever like driving by a billboard and it's just like stop domestic violence, and just like some guy's just on his way to like go beat his wife and he's just like, you know what, not today. Saw a billboard. I don't know. I hate those billboards so much.
Who knows? It might, there's so many mentally unstable people that maybe it does work for someone.
Maybe.
They read it and they're like, you know what? Maybe it's not the day.
I don't know the stats. I'd have to see the stats.
Hey, Lamar billboards stands against domestic violence. It's just the billboard.
It's a good thing for them to do.
A lot of times, you ever just like read a billboard? Sometimes I'll just read a billboard and I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, every
Most of the time.
except for the lottery billboard. That's the only billboard that has been constant and true my entire
Yeah,
life.
that one I'm usually like,
Oh wow.
that's pretty low. Or I'm like, oh, damn.
No, that's the one that I tell to go fucking suck the most.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, you buy a ticket and you don't win. You'd be like, this is the 10,000th ticket I've bought. I still don't win.
Honestly, the one that
Go
I,
fuck yourself.
the one that I curse out the most is probably anytime I see one that's like, "We are New York strong." I'm like, "Fuck you."
No, the one that I hate the most is what is it? I forgot it.
Which
Damn it.
I honestly I think "fuck you" is the most appropriate New York answer to
Oh.
that sign.
There's two that I hate the most. All right, I hate the recruitment ones, like the military ones, which like battles are won within.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, they're also lost for every year following.
Yes.
You know what I mean? PTSD is a real thing. You're losing. Fuck, man.
Yo, like a week before the whole like Ukrainian Russian invasion thing happened, were either of you? I was getting texted by Marine recruiters, fucking like every day for like that week, and I was.
Really?
Yeah, like they were like they said that they had my information for like they got my number from Hudson Valley, and they were like they're
Oh.
reaching out to all Hudson Valley people, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
I was going to ask if maybe it was from that one time that our one friend went up and signed up for the Navy because they had to get a pen or they didn't sign up for the Navy. They gave them all their information so they could get a pen so we could write down our fantasy football information at a baseball game.
That is true. That
Who
yeah.
did that?
That was very funny. That was Jerry. Jerry went over and like talked to a neighbor.
Is this
and he was
how
like,
Jerry got in the Navy?
I don't think so. No, but he was
That
just
would
like
be fucking hilarious.
that would be
Not
funny.
like the guy.
But he was like, I mean, I really just need this pen. And the guy was like trying to talk to him, and then I forget what happened.
Was this before he went to the Navy?
Yeah.
Hey, you should sign this piece of paper. Test that pen out real quick.
What happened
Yeah.
before we're declared? Oh God! Did you see? No, we did the update earlier. Futurama's back with the full original cast. I know
Yes.
DJ doesn't give a fucking shit.
Yes, they are back.
I didn't say I didn't give a fucking shit.
All right,
I'm pretty
But-
excited about that.
I don't care.
Do you know? I think it comes out. I think the new season comes out next year. I think 2023.
They would the cast get their raises. Bender
Yeah.
back in action.
Bender's big score.
I did hear. I think I might have brought this up last time, but a lot of the people that they had like their next go-tos were like, "Yeah, no, we're not going to do it. Like this guy's going to do it."
Wait, what?
Like a lot of the people that like when John DiMaggio wasn't. Yeah, I didn't explain that well. When John DiMaggio said that he wasn't going to do it, a lot of the people like that would kind of be next in line kind of came out like preempting. We're like, we're not voicing Bender.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to scab this job. Like he has to do it. Like John DiMaggio has to do this voice.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Good for them.
Would you ever scab?
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
All the time. If they had come to me and asked me if I wanted to be Bender, I would have done it in a heartbeat.
Give me your best Bender.
I wouldn't have done anything. I don't even know if I can do a Bender.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
Glass.
That's just Al Pacino. That's just your Al Pacino. Great ass.
Great ass.
Oh God, that's funny.
Got your head stuck all the way up.
It kind of sounds like the
Oh.
the Joker too from the beginning.
Somebody, I feel like that's the thing. Somebody based their Joker on Al Pacino.
Oh, really?
I think maybe Mark
Oh, you
Hamill.
want me to be the Joker?
Oh, from like Taxi.
Yeah, I think. Hold on.
What an influential movie that I've never seen.
Movie?
Taxi.
Taxi Driver?
Yeah, Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver's a great movie. Oh, I don't think Al Pacino was in that. Robert De Niro.
Oh,
Same,
okay.
same.
Really guy. Same, different. But yeah, Taxi Driver. Highly recommended if you've never seen it.
Dude, I gotta watch Serpico again soon.
Yes, sir. Great movie.
Dude,
Incredibly long movie.
it's
a
all
great
all
movie.
all Al Pacino movies are basically 3 hours long minimum.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yo, that was when I watched The Watchmen. I knew it was a long movie, and I'm like, something about Zack Snyder films. It was like, he's done like some of the DC ones. That guy always has a scene in every movie where like it just cuts to some part, you have no fucking idea what's going on, and it just shows like the main character in a like desert like Armageddon, and then like they all just blow up, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And then it just goes back to the story, and you're like, why is this in every movie?
Very true.
What movie is this?
That was Watchmen.
That
right?
happens in
And then
Watchmen, but
it happens in Justice League Snyder Cut too. They
Yeah,
don't blow up, but they're just in a desert, and you're just like, why? What the hell is
yeah.
happening?
There's like one scene where like Batman is just like using a machine gun, mowing people down, and then like Superman shows up, and then like you're just like, what? And then it just goes back to the story, and you're like,
yeah,
what is this?
the Joker and the Batman are like teaming up for some reason. And they're arguing.
They're
And you're
mowing
like, why
down-
would these two ever
They're
hang out in
mowing
the
down
desert
people?
together?
Like Mad Maxing people?
Yeah, kind of.
Something like that. Yeah.
It was just very weird. The way that Zack Snyder directs, that's why I was like the biggest thing was like watching The Watchmen, and like you could definitely be like tell like, yes, this is that made Justice League, because the way that like they're at a funeral, and the way that like he's showing all of these people's connection to the comedian, but
Mhm.
it's so like the flashbacks are so long, you just forget what the fuck's going on. And
yeah.
you're just like, dude, I just went to like 9 different places, and I keep going back to this funeral, and like,
Just the comedian doing horrible things.
yeah, it's literally just the comedian being a piece of shit like 6 different times.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so confusing. You know what movie I watched part of last night that I didn't end up finishing was The King's Man. You guys watch that movie?
Kingsman?
Is that
The King's Man?
is that related to Kingsman?
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a prequel kind of.
That's what I figured
Which-
it was.
Guess who the bad guy is in that movie?
Is it Patrick Wilson?
Incorrect. Actually, I don't know. It might be. He's very well disguised in makeup, but Mr. Rasputin.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the whole plot
I
movie
swear to
is
God,
like
dude, it's Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson playing Rasputin.
Got the dick for it. No.
No, he's not the blue guy.
You think they really have Rasputin's dick in a jar somewhere?
They say that they do.
Well, then again, there's so many. No, the dude who plays Rasputin is the dude who's you'd recognize him.
Do you think
He's in a
that
million different things. He's the guy who played the reptile in the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
Okay, so to get super method, do you think that he went and saw Rasputin's dong and like whirled
Maybe.
around, shook it?
Could be.
He could have.
I hope that
Played
like
with it a little bit. You mind if I take this out?
when I'm like 3 centuries out of life, dude, I hope my dong's in a jar somewhere. I'm like, look at this piece. What
That's
a
it,
legacy.
someone hanging up in a museum somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't he like a notorious like Casanova too or something? Wasn't he banging like all the royalties?
So Rasputin is a hard one to nail down because there's 1,000 different stories that like it's like who knows what's true. Like
Yeah,
it's all
he like lived a long life as a nomad, and then like stumbled into like this nobility. Like,
he's basically a con man.
yeah, he
He,
was
like-
a very good con man.
He got the Russian like oligarchs to trust him, and then it was just like, oh yeah, I'm like a healer. So then he just like poisoned people and have the antidote and be like heal them and be like, see, they were sick and now they're not.
Yeah, that
Looks
was
like I'm a healer, guys, right?
I forget what the story was, if it was like the Tsar and his wife, if like one of them was sick, but the only person that seemed to be able to help was Rasputin, and like everyone else in the government was like, dude, this guy is fucking bad news. And like I'm pretty sure he was fucking the Tsar's wife,
Yeah.
and like but the Tsar was like, so it's maybe it was something about their kids, or I don't think he had kids or something,
Mhm.
but like they put a lot of trust and faith into him, while everyone was like, this guy needs to be shot, which they did. Like that's the most interesting thing to me about
They tried to
Rasputin,
kill him like
is
7
all
times.
the different times they tried to kill him.
Yeah, that the first introduction to Rasputin I had was when I was growing up. My dad told me that he was shot,
They poisoned
Drowned.
him, they drowned him.
drowned, and then
Didn't they put him in a fire or something too?
he just died of like starvation or something like that. Like they had all these different things, but none of them killed him except for like just the most benign thing that you could imagine, something like that.
I think fat one hurt my tummy.
And then they also like, I think they talk about that in the last podcast because they talk about like how Rasputin was like known for having such a massive dong and for him being like, it's such a burden for me to have to fuck all of these women. I guess I have to do it. Like, oh whoa.
There isn't that like like I wish we had as much information like the information we do about Rasputin, that but for like Genghis Khan, you know? Or like just like I feel like we know so much about
Well,
like,
Genghis is so much further out from
Yeah, I
history.
know.
Yeah.
Like Rasputin is still kind of like relatively modern.
that was like 2 weeks ago.
When was that whole thing was
Wait,
like
who?
the early Rasputin was like the late 1800s, early 1900s, right? It was
So it was around, I think before World War I. So, like early 1900s.
Hey, you know what I just noticed?
he looks like Greg.
No. Putin. Rasputin.
Rasputin?
I think they're related.
Wow, interesting.
Giorgio. Because like if you just take that ras off, dude,
Did you
it's
guys see
just
the
Putin.
Emperor Palpatine?
I did not know. That's genius, though.
I honestly thought you were going to look up.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh dang. See, I just Googled is Putin related to Rasputin?
Is Rasputin?
Rasputin.
His great-great-grand-
That's funny.
His great-great-grandpa. Dick analysis shows now. What's it called? What the fuck was I gonna? I was gonna Google something else.
Using our future dick analysis.
We can rebuild him.
Another thing, like,
What a character.
did you ever hear like the story of Casanova?
No.
Do you know about Casanova?
No.
All right, so there's this
What's going on
dude.
with that guy?
I think it was like the 1700s. There's this dude who was like he was like nobility in I think it was England. Hold on, I don't know.
Is this the dude you were telling me about that like
Italian, excuse me.
that
This-
like fucked the beast?
he literally just fucked like every single person he encountered. He would just fuck his way to the top of like whatever town or wherever he was. He would even just like he literally just weaseled his way into every pair of legs, man, female, whatever. But he just like became like I don't have enough information really. I can come back. But I watched like there's like a biography on it, and just basically I think even he ends up doing like ancestral shit, like you know.
Mhm.
Well, I think back in
And
the
then
time that was
everyone-
kind of more common.
Yeah, now everyone refers to him. Oh, that guy's a real Casanova.
Yeah, I mean, he
That's
probably
such
wasn't a good person.
Oh dude, no, he's a terrible person. But what's it called? It was like one of those things where he's Rasputin, like, and that he just like fucked his way into like nobility and shit.
What was the Beauty and the Beast story that you had? I thought it was like somewhere in like England or Wales or Scotland, somewhere in the United
Oh,
Kingdom.
the real Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, yeah.
Boris Johnson is the beast.
That's nice. That was kind of an interesting story that you had. Is this it? It's a read.
No, no.
Beauty and the Beast. The real beauty and the real beast.
The real beast was named Petrus Gonsalves. Suffered from a genetic condition known as hypertrichosis, also known as Ambras syndrome, which is defined by an abnormal amount of hair growth. Any part of the fucking.
Kiss your mother with that.
This
mouth?
wasn't he like the king's son or something?
Yeah,
They like locked him in a basement, and then that lady was like, "I love him."
yeah. Can't find it right now though. Oh, here we go.
If there was a beast man like that, I'd be like, bro, you're the fucking general. Like,
Yeah,
dude, you're gonna
exactly.
scare the shit out of people when you come rolling in like the beast man. They're gonna fucking
Yeah.
listen to you.
So he was born to a rich family, and then they like would like lock him up because he was like called the hairy wild man. And for food, he was given raw meat and shit.
Jeez.
And then I think Oh, it was the king of France like found him and was just like, I'm gonna teach him to be nobility, and like just
Oh,
like
didn't you
took-
say it was like a bet? Like they had like a card game or something, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Yeah, I'll make a bet for you. I bet you can do, make a diamond out of the rough."
Dude, we should hold on. That movie should also be made. That's an awesome movie. It's just like I bet I can turn Beastman into a king.
Isn't that
He'll be banging princesses in no time.
isn't that like Enchanted or something? Is what movie is
Not
that?
another teen movie.
I don't think it's.
That's kind of not another teen movie.
Oh, Janie Briggs with the paint covered overalls. Captain America, man.
That would be a good movie, though. I'm with you.
Just make an independent film about like just raising Beastman, Troy, New York.
Yeah,
The King of Troy.
but no one's like everyone knows him. He's just walking to the corner store and back.
it's
How's
just,
it going?
It's just more like sloth than he is like
Yeah.
fucking.
me get a beef patty. Here you go, Beast Man. Thank you. You think that's where they came up with the idea of Beast in X-Men?
No,
He's just a Beast Man.
isn't he blue? He's blue, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they just watched the Disney movie and were like, we'll just take him?
What if we make him blue?
call him
Yeah, they're
X-Man?
like, let's just take that character. No, we can't do that. But if we make him blue,
God
okay, yeah, we're
damn it, Terry, you're a genius.
Let's do it. He's an X-Man now.
Okay, so yeah, the king allowed him to keep his birth name Pedro Gonzalez, but only if he used his Latin form Petrus Gonsalves. The boy was given
You can
clothes.
keep your name, but it's gonna be harder to say.
The boy was given clothes and cooked meals. He was taught to speak, read, and write, and not just one but 3 languages. Receiving education of a nobleman, the royal court was impressed, and his social status rose. Yet most still viewed him as less than human.
Imagine being a king and telling someone, be like, no, yeah, you can still do that, but you gotta use this name now. And then you're like, but that's my name. You can't tell me what my name is. Like, no, yeah, your name isn't that anymore. I'm the king. Your
Yeah,
name's this now.
All right.
All right, I guess King told me and I named it something different now.
So like if I had to
What am
go
I
by-
gonna do? You know?
I had to go by like Edouard or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your name's Edward now. No, it's not. It's Edwin.
you can
No,
keep
it's Edouard.
you can keep your name, but you have to use the French pronunciation of it now.
Edouard.
I'm not French.
Yeah. No, you are. I'm French now, I guess.
Okay, so this is where it gets kind of fucked up. The real beauty met after King Henry was killed in a jousting match. Gonsalves became the property of
I
the
love
king's
that
widow.
a king can just be killed in a jousting match.
He just became the property of the king's widow, Catherine de' Medici, who became ruler and decided to conduct her own experiment with him. She wondered what would happen if her beast married a beautiful woman. Would they conceive little beasts? She found a wife for him, a young maiden also named Catherine, who was the daughter of a royal court servant. On their wedding day, the pair had what? Oh, okay, sorry. They met for the first time on their wedding day, and the pair had 7 children, with 4 of the 7 suffering from their father's condition. The delighted king's widow had succeeded in creating a wild family. Really
Suffering
fucked up.
or benefiting.
So what happened, man? Now I want to know what happened to the.
The real Beauty and the Beast and their children. Wait, what? Excuse me. They toured European countries and cities, basically like a sideshow, I guess. Eventually setting in Parma, Italy, where they were employed by Duke Roccanudo.
Rockanudo?
Roccanucco.
Ranuccio.
Ranuccio. The Duke commissioned several paintings of the family, but none of them featured the 3 unaffected children. Were not considered curiosities. So like the normal ones they weren't interested in.
Beauty and the Beast.
Do you think the normal ones were really upset that they were being
Oh
dragged around on this tour?
no, I don't think that they. 4 of the 7 children, ones afflicted with their condition, were exploited by the Duke and sent away as gifts, becoming pets of the upper class.
I'm the Duke.
Like the
Yeah,
most
it's
fucking
ridiculous.
just sold them like puppies.
The world is just like what a crazy place.
The portrait that they have is kind of. Hold on, let me pull this up.
That's a
here.
scary picture. I like how the bird has the same face.
It also appears that the two of them were married for 40 years, with Catherine passing in 1623 and Petrus several years prior. There's no record of his death, possibly because he was not considered human. Oh, jeez, man. Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, what an awful story.
I mean,
Great movie.
Great, horribly inaccurate movie.
Beauty and the
yeah, there was
Beast.
nothing about the rose or whatever.
Yeah, there was no laughing candlesticks. What happened?
Yeah, what happened to Gaston?
Dude, these are actually. It's funny that these are both Disney stories. Rasputin and
Yeah.
What's some other fucked up? The real Snow White.
Is
This
that
chick.
this chick just bangs a bunch
Yeah,
This
of.
chick gets raped
Little
in a
people.
cave by some
Walt
dude.
Disney is just chain smoking cigarettes, being like, "We're gonna make a Rasputin story." Everyone's like, "What? You can't do that."
They should
Like,
make.
no, we're gonna make it all right.
They should make a Casanova Disney movie.
I feel like that's had to have been
Really?
done.
Yeah, probably.
Let's figure it out.
We got top men on the case.
You guys can hear the sounds of clicking.
I mean, there's a romance drama in 2005.
Watch 2005's Casanova. I don't think that's the same one though. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Probably
I can't do that for the kids.
probably haven't then.
I did read a good. I think it was Neil Gaiman, the author of The Sandman, also the writer of American Gods, did a short story. I think it's called
Sandman.
like Apples. It's like a Snow White thing, but it's like just like 3 words, and it's all this story about like how actually Snow White is like in essentially like a prison, and that's why she's like asleep in this thing, because she's actually like this crazy witch that is like trying to kill her stepmother. And like it was this very interesting thing of like the stepmother shows up, she notices that Snow White is like this creepy vampire girl that's sucking the life out of everybody, and then she kills her
She's
father.
succubus?
Yeah, pretty much, and then she banishes her, and then like this prince goes to fuck the queen but can't get hard, and then he leaves, and then he goes off into the woods and he sees Snow White, and then he goes there, and like she becomes like or he becomes like her puppet, and then they go kill the stepmother. So it's just this completely like different retelling of Snow White, where it's like, no, she's not actually good. She's like this horrible vampire
And
thing.
they go kill the witch who's really just like a normal.
Who's really just like this queen that's trying to keep her people safe. It was just like a one-off, like probably like 70, 80 page graphic novel.
And then you're like, my 9-year-old daughter would love this.
It was illustrated very nice. I wish I could remember what the fuck it was called. It's like Glass, Apples, and Snow or something.
Let's figure it out.
I think it's called Glass, Apples, Snow by Neil Gaiman.
You are Snow, Glass, Apples, hardcover.
But the art on it's pretty cool.
Does look pretty cool.
Children's book?
Not really.
Not really. Mostly due to the things that Jim just described.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood in it. Good amount of blood.
It's like the Stinky Cheese Man,
It's like Stinky Cheese,
Stinky
man.
cheese.
Yes.
but real.
Mr. Munster.
Guys, let me tell you, I had some stinky cheese last night.
You did?
And I got to tell you, there's a
Gorgonzola?
Oh yeah, tell us.
there's a new leader in town for Italian food. If you're in the greater Albany
Who
area, you're gonna have to go to Villa de Como on Lark Street.
Is it Andrew Cuomo's?
No, Como, not Cuomo.
Villa de Cuomo.
It's his house. He just serves you ragu.
Pinches Wages' ass.
Yeah. But
Does a Pacino impression.
But yeah, let me tell you guys, this place, they make their own limoncello, they make their own hot Italian oil, they make their own.
I make my own hot Italian oil too.
Oh!
Great ass! Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta tell you, they're one of the best plates of pasta I've had in my life.
See, I have
Out
a
of this
hard
place.
time. Anytime I go to a restaurant, I know that the pasta, like I should try the pasta, but every time I'm like, I'm not gonna go to a nice restaurant and get pasta. I just feel like, because like there's like if they don't make the pasta by hand, it's immediately not worth whatever you're paying for it.
Mhm.
And like, and I heard that like I'm not gonna say the name of the restaurant, but I heard that they just like, buying packs of freaking Piscetti, dropping it in there instead of making their own.
Oh yeah. Well, this place, it's worth. It's I had it was spaghetto quadrado chiarita, that was
You
just
kiss your mother with that mouth.
it's just a type of spaghetti that's like kind of a little bit thicker with like a whole food middle of it.
Oh yeah,
Man, I got the dish I got was actually called Pollo Lago de Como, and it was chicken breast, shallots, garlic, Calabrese chilies, and cream sauce.
okay.
Oh man, it
So-
was on point.
Who'd they take the title from? Who had the best before?
So myself, I mean, I haven't had all of the Italian in the area, but myself, Rosanna's was a big favorite of mine.
Cafe Italia, right?
Cafe Italia is always good. Who's another?
Olive Garden, your mom's favorite.
When you're there, you're family, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't.
True.
Muscatella's was always a favorite of mine, but I mean, this blew all of them out of the water.
I did.
Rosanna's is still very good too. Rosanna's is.
Where's Rosanna's?
That one is right off of like Washington, where Lark meets Washington. It's like
Okay.
right around the corner. I forget the exact. I think it's on Dove, technically. That's another great Italian place, though, that I highly recommend.
Did you see Sam's is moving?
I
No,
did
what are they
not
doing?
know.
Ralph's. Maybe it's Ralph's. No, Sam's is moving. The one on Delaware, or not
Yeah,
Delaware,
the one
McCarty.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Sam's.
Yeah, they're moving to like where the Taco Bell is in Glenmont.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Building a
Interesting.
big thing.
Wow.
Well, not like the same spot, but like across the street.
Are you a Sam's fan?
Not really.
I don't think I've ever had their food before.
No.
What's it called? It just made me think of that because like that's like one of those places where like you'll get food there and be like, oh, I got freaking scammed.
I've heard Nicole's is pretty good.
I've heard Nicole's is good too.
Nicole's is delicious. I've had my cousin got his wedding catered by Nicole's. Nicole's is fantastic. Very good.
I have a shout out to a place. I think it was on Thursday.
Yeah.
I came home from work and or I came home from my brother's house and I didn't feel like cooking, so I ordered something, and I didn't feel like paying the the surcharges on these websites and apps. So I decided I would go right to the source.
Gets out of control.
And so I called the two nearest Chinese restaurants, and they both said that they weren't delivering. And I was like, all right. So I went to, I think it's called Golden House next to Vortex Gaming, that little hilltop
Ooh,
plaza.
Okay.
So I call them and I say, can I have an order for delivery? Yes, we'll get you the order. And I'm like, yes. I want a pint of sweet and sour chicken and a pint of pork fried rice because I'm basic. And she says, oh, it's not enough for delivery. And I'm like, okay, what if I make it a quart of each? Is that enough? And she laughs and goes, if we make it a quart of sour chicken, you can do the pint of pork fried rice, and then it's $18, and that's enough for delivery. And I said, you got it. And they delivered that food, and it was not the best Chinese food I've ever had, but god damn it.
But they're negotiators.
they
They
were-
know how to play the game.
Dude, I got off the phone and was like, that lady is a fucking salesman.
Yeah,
She knew what I wanted.
that's hilarious.
She was going to take my $19.
You want to know the salesman, the owner from Villa de Como came over to our table last night, and he's just like, "How was your pasta?" I was like, "Dude, this is amazing! Like, you really did something here." And he's just like, "Yes, I serve only the greatest ingredients. The food that I'm serving to you is the food that I would serve my children. We come from the Lake Como region. We make our own." And he's just telling us the whole spiel, and I was like, "Wow, that's something else."
I've had that happen where it's a very enjoyable experience. And then I've had it where there was this one place I went to. It was One of my favorite places growing up, it used to be this little convenience store named Carl's by the camp that we had.
Mhm.
And dude, I used to love going there when it was Carl's. It was cool. They had like great beef jerky. You get all these cool candies you get fucking never see again. And so I go back there in my later years, and it's some sort of restaurant. And I'm like, well, you know, it used to be Carl's. And you go in there, and it still kind of has some of the Carl's vibe, and it just has a couple of tables. And it's a very small place. And I just get a burger, and the burger was good. But the chef came up after and was like, so how's the burger? And it's like, I'm eating. Like, go
Yeah.
fuck off. Like, also, it's just, there's literally like me, the person I'm with, the chef, and then like the waitress. And I'm like, man,
Yeah, in that setting, when someone comes up to you when you're just trying to have a burger, you're just like, yeah, it's good. And I go, what do you want?
you put bacon jam on it. It was great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a similar situation like this happen. We were in New Zealand, right? And we were looking for like authentic, like native New Zealander food.
What is that? Just
I
sheep?
completely forget. If I'm being 100% honest,
Is
I
it,
completely
like,
forgot what it was called.
Aboriginal food?
No, it's just like beat sheep.
Oh, it was not original at all.
I would guess it would probably be like, yeah, either sheep or like barbecue of some sort.
They also had like okay, so I forget what exactly it's called. I think it was like the Maui people had, I don't know, hold on. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it was. And anyway, this guy, it was just basically like, think of like just this guy, pieces of like kitchen equipment, and you could see everything.
Mhm.
And it was just like 4 or 5 of us, and we go in there and we're just like, oh hey, like, can we get food, whatever. And this guy like I was just like, all right, so we got like original dishes, or like, you know what I mean, his native dishes, and we got like burgers and stuff like that. And this guy literally treated us like we were royalty.
Yeah.
So we were just like sitting there waiting. He's like, he's cooking fucking food right now. This guy's putting on this show out here, and it was like a 5-course meal, and it was like for like $20. You know what I mean? And like, I forget. I'll have to get it. Hopefully, I could ask Eric exactly what the name of the place was. Give him a big shout out. But it's like one of those things where it was like basically the burger chef, Chef Dave or whatever.
Mhm.
It was
No,
like
Chef Dave.
Dave Kahn. Yeah,
Chef
exact.
Dave Kahn.
And he just like put the dog on for us big time. And like anytime somebody just like does it like well and then talks and is like, so what did you think like after? I fucking love it, you know?
Yeah.
But if it's just like, if you made me a fucking like just a regular old burger and you come out here and you're just like, man, what do you think? Like, I'm just gonna be like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah, like if you're doing it to be like, huh? Huh?
Yeah,
And
to
you just
smell
made a
your own
burger, you're
farts.
just like, okay, get out of here. But if you're like actually taking like the guy last night like genuinely cared that we were having a good delicious meal.
I'm not like, you know, I'm sure the guy genuinely cared about my
I don't think he
burger.
cared, Jim.
I think he did. I just, it's one of the, you know,
I don't
just
know
let
that.
me.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The-
Which restaurant are you talking about?
Well, I can't even shout him out. The place is closed anyway, so
Okay.
it wasn't that great.
Well, no wonder.
Wait, in the time that you've eaten there and then now the places went under?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it was probably 3 years ago that I went there, and then last time I went there, it was just nothing.
He's got a talking to people fucking meals. You know, I don't know. It was nice though. Like whenever we would go to New World, and like DJ and I'd just be there, and then Rick would come over and be like, "Right, so this is like."
Oh, dude,
Rick was explaining whatever.
Rick was really good at doing it. Yeah, Rick was really good.
I would be like,
Hey guys, what's going on? Yeah, I got the idea when I was in Sicily.
France, and I thought, wouldn't this wine pair really well with the same, you know, whatever seafood dish that I came up with when I was in fucking Mexico or something? I don't know, I forget it all, but it was really good. It was just like this dude coming up,
Yeah.
man, funny.
Peter said that he saw one of his cooking things at the Little Drummer Kitchen in Stuyvesant Plaza,
Yeah.
and Steve loved it. Steve was like, dude, that guy is fucking great, man. He's like, dude, we were so hooked on like everything he was talking about. He's like, I learned so much. And I was like, yeah, it's funny, like he like working with him was a little bit different, but like
Yeah.
it's funny seeing his tent at the Troy Farmers Market because it's literally just this big picture of like him grinning, and I'm just like, dude, this guy, like his ego through the roof, but like in such this funny way.
Yeah.
He reminds me of I feel like I said this before, but like Alex Christian, like just like a similar like it's like a very extroverted like but weird energy that you're like what the like
That was funny.
dude I don't know it's just like if Alex had pursued the
He was cooking for a while
Yeah,
from
he
what I
was.
remember.
I don't know it's super funny. Just like, imagine, like, dude, the time that we pulled up like the YouTube video and he's just like, he's doing the fucking fuck off, granny. Like, like, I don't know. Regardless,
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Where are they located? That
On
Lark Street,
Okay,
right next to 288. What is it called? 288 Tap or something like that.
217.
No, 288.
Where?
It's right across the street from
Oh,
Savoy
it's
Tap Room.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, used to be I think Legends. Legends on Lark.
Oh, okay.
I think used to be a sports bar. I'd been there in there before, and I was like, oh no way.
What's like how was the bill? Did they clobber you over the head?
I mean,
How much money do I need to bring to
for like a nicer restaurant, it's on par with like
100 bones too?
yeah, maybe a little more than that. Maybe
200.
like 100, 125, something like that. If you're
That's
getting-
like wine, the whole nine.
yeah. I had they made limoncello and orangecello spritzes. That were,
Spritzes.
like the best cocktails like ever.
They had spritzes.
Yeah.
Spritzes.
But yeah, probably around that, something like that. Yeah, highly recommend it.
I'll have to check it out.
Highly recommend it. Yeah. How are we doing on time? I think we got a little more time left.
I gotta
Just about
say,
ready to-
it's just about ready for me to make a lemon spritz.
That's right.
Great Ash.
So, everyone,
Everybody, thank you for tuning into the Book Podcast. We are a homegrown podcast. We always appreciate the listenership. Check us out on Instagram. Let's Stuff Podcast. Find our good truth. Find all of them. Check us out on Spotify. Watch us on YouTube. It's true.
Tune in next week.